Welcome. This episode is all about getting ready for the olive harvest, which is going to start next week. It's now the middle of October, the sun is shining and we're about to start. So altogether we've got about 120 trees. 45 of them are the larger Puglia Dinardo trees like this one. And Pete in the spring took the height down by half, so they were about 12 to 15 metres high, which is far too high. They were all showing signs of xylella. So he gave them such a hefty cut. We're not anticipating many of the Puglia Dinardo olives this year, but it's, you know, despite the xylella and despite the heavy trim, we've still got some on these trees. Last year, we were able to produce 130 litres of extra virgin olive oil just from the 45 Puglia Dinardo trees. It's not going to be like that this year, we knew that. The 45 Puglia Dinardo trees are one type of tree that we've got, and the others are split between, they're much smaller, and there's several varieties, and they're split between two smaller orchards, groves really, one in the north and one in the south. Part of the preparation for the olive harvest is to clear around the bottom of the trees from all the suckers that have grown since we were last here. And here they all are. Pete's taken them off with his machete, and the idea is that we then put those through chipper, which is short for chippatrice, the shredder, so that we can use it as mulch around the young fruit trees to help keep the moisture in the ground and put it back into the soil.
One of the other things that we've had to do in the actual orchards themselves is to clear the pigweed out, which we removed by hand, and it's just this thing is just rampant. But we've removed the pigweed. Then after that, what we did is we've rotivated each of the orchards. The orchard here took us about 4 hours to rotivate, and the orchard to the south also another 4 hours to rotivate. And the reason that we've rotivated them is because when we put the nets down to collect the olives, we don't want anything snagging on the nets. So we don't want the nets breaking or anything like that. So now the orchard is ready to put the nets down and collect.
Okay, so last year we noticed there was quite a few olive fly on the smaller trees, the 75 small trees. And when I read up on it, you can get something called a tap trap, which I'll pull out in a minute, and a plastic bottle. And if you put raw fish scraps into half a litre of water in each bottle for the first month, and then top it up with ammonia, pure liquid ammonia after that for the season, so roughly from middle of May to middle of October, then hopefully the olive flies will get attracted to that rather than going into the olives. So this morning, yesterday I sweet talked the local fishman in San Michele Salentino and said, I need lots of raw fish scraps please for my olive fly mix, and they understood my very bad Italian, and this morning I picked them up and he gave me a bag full of scraps, which I think the local cat's already smelt, and I'm going to have a very horrible job now of putting some scraps into each of these bottles. I haven't got 75 bottles, couldn't collect them all, but some neighbours got involved and have given me as many as they can, so I've got 53 bottles, so I'm going to fill 53 bottles with half a litre of water and some raw fish scraps and hang them in the trees with the tap trap at the top, so that hopefully then that'll do the job. These are really disgusting. The dead flies seem to attract more flies to come and die with them. And before next week's olive harvest, I need to get these all off the trees because their job is done by then, and I'll have to dig a pit and empty the contents into it.
Yum.
Yuck.
Oh,
Yuck.
God.
Can't wait.
They stink.
Not.
If you're enjoying the video, please give us a thumbs up. You can subscribe if you'd like to, or hit the notification bell, and that will tell you when the next one's coming out. And I've forgotten the last bit.
Comments.
Oh, that's it. If you leave a comment, I will get back to you. Well, Sally will, because she does that sort of stuff.
And don't stop watching, the video's still going.
Yeah, in the video, we still got the second half. Well, let's do it again. Puglia this year has been hit by some extreme weather, like the rest of the world, really. As you can see, there's been absolutely no rain here for 4 months. The locals will tell you the last time it rained here was the 15th of June. We're now almost the 15th of October. The ground is completely parched. This affects the olives because of the heat. They're going to mature at different rates, and not only are they going to mature at different rates, is that each of the different types of olives will mature at different rates as well. At the moment, it looks like we're going to have to harvest earlier than normal because they're maturing because of the heat. And we're going to go for Licino first, and some of the Coratinas are beginning to mature, but it looks like it's going to be another week or two for them. Okay, we've got in the small olive, we've got small olive groves, we've got several different types of olives. This one behind us is a Coratina. They're not ripe yet. You can see they're all green, and they haven't got a little nipple on the end of the olive. They're a lot rounder and a lot bigger than the other types of olive. When these olives will harvest once we start getting a red half fleck on the olives themselves. Down here, you can see that some of the Coratinas are actually ready here. You can see your green on the bottom, and you've got a red around the outside. So this tree here is ripening faster than the other tree, so it's something that we're going to have to look at. The other type we've got in the small grove is the Licino. These olives here are small and black, and we've got about 14 of these ones, and these ripen earlier than the Coratinas. So the Licinos are the ones that we're actually going to harvest first, and we'll probably harvest those in a week or so's time. What we're trying to do is we're trying to keep the oils monovariety, so we're going to harvest Licinos separately to the Coratinas, and then we can taste the difference. As novices, when it comes down to olives, we've both done a lot of reading, and you can see on this tree that we've got the whole gamut when it comes to olives. This olive here is ripened completely, so it's too ripe. This olive here is hard, unripe, and then you've got some perfect olives just here which are ready for picking. So you've got the ones here, they're a bit too far, these are perfect, and you've got the unripe. So you get a real mixture in the tree, and it depends, because this tree is actually, this is south, so this part of the tree is facing south, and the northern part of the tree, the olives won't ripen as fast, so there'll be more green over that side. So you find that within one tree, you get a whole variety depending on the type of tree and the orientation of where the leaves and branches are.
So now we've done all the prep, and Pete and I are checking the olives every single day. There's been half a day of rain since we filmed, so hopefully it'll be soon. Give them a little bit of plumpness, and we'd love it if you joined us for the harvesting, which is next, and the tasting of the oil, which is the best bit.